What's up, everybody? It's been a while, not gonna lie. Been a while since I filmed another one of these videos. But don't think, I know what some of you are thinking, that, oh man, he burnt out. Burnt out quick. Shit. Well, if you haven't noticed, I've been making these videos while I'm driving home from work, typically kind of vlogging the different things that go on during the day and the kind of lessons learned or how I see them. I wouldn't say that I'm 100% your source of information, or even should I be, for those kind of things. But it's just the best time for me to make these videos. It's when I'm driving home, kind of decompressing, because it's about a 35-minute drive, so that's why it's there. So if any of you guys are like, man, you shouldn't be making videos while you're driving, it's not safe. Well, my eyes are on the road. I'm just talking. It's hands-free, so pound sand. All right? That being said, the sunset, usually it's like 4:30 right now, and since September, that's kind of how it goes. So if you have ever filmed something in the dark, I'm not going to be sitting in the car with the lights on, so you can't see shit. So it kind of took a pause in on the videos, but don't you worry, I ain't going nowhere. Yeah, so to summarize what's been going on since there's been a little break in video making. Shop's doing pretty good. We kind of fell off in car count in September, kind of came back up in October. November was kind of average. December we ended up doing really well, and January now we're killing it. So few reasons for that. I would say that in September, kind of like towards the end of August, there was a slowing down period, and it felt like it might have been more economy, people just kind of holding on to their resources and weren't really trying to spend. I think Trump just implemented his tariffs, so there were a little bit of effects on that. And also it's possible that AI search was changing the way search engines were presenting information, so you kind of had some loss in there. Simultaneously for us, we also, because of our little run-in with me leaving for a whole year and the business not doing so hot while I was gone, there were some financial issues that kind of rolled over from that period that caused a delay in cash flow. That kind of hit at the same time in September, so I had to pull back on my marketing efforts a little bit, which then after the recovery in December, that was all good and go. So yeah, seems like an economic forces did that little bottom out like in anything else. As we talked about before in the videos, everything comes in waves. Sometimes you're on top. Like I said, August did very well. And then you have little bottoms, and then they come right back up. So each one progressively getting better and better as you have growth, but it's never going to be all happy days, and that's okay. So that's something to be ready for all you business folk out there that have to deal with that. All right. Another thing we're working on right now is teamwork makes a dream work. It seems that when we're all fighting a common enemy, we instinctively are happy to work together, and naturally that increases our performance. Now, I took this leadership course, leadership intensive, and they broke it down scientifically, which I never really thought about it that way. Starting at the base of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Basically, if you don't know what that is, it's like our natural needs for food, shelter, love, and all those other things. So there's a hierarchy of those things. And so if you want good teammates, they need to be hitting all those marks before they can outperform in other areas that you need them to. Okay, and then after that, there's also, I would say, team working skills that are built from struggle, and that makes, I think that puts it all together and makes a much stronger, cohesive unit. So yeah, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. As a manager, you should be tracking where your people are at in those areas by having one-on-one sit-downs, maybe quarterly, maybe monthly, to make sure everything's going good at home, things like that. The idea is that if you hire proper people that don't have issues in other areas of their life, hypothetically, they're going to be better than those that do have issues. And meaning that on the skill level plane, let's say fully trained, ready to go killers, the ones that have less issues at home, that fit that kind of persona, and everyone's coining it company culture, they're going to be outperforming those that do not. Now, in the real world, I'd say that you don't get that perfect person. No, I don't think that the kind of people exist. On our small scale, they obviously don't. Maybe when you're the industry leader, you get the cream of the crop, so to say. You can always overpay and pay top dollar, but then that just goes into your margin. Some people will argue just pay higher and attract those higher, that quality talent. My argument to that would be that if your brand isn't strong, you need to compete on price just like anything else in sales. So if you're offering the same things as everybody else, then yeah, you're going to have to compete on price to pay that higher fee. But if you have a competitive advantage in the way that you structure your teams and the reputation that you have for your brand and for the people that work for you, you don't have that issue where you have to compete on price. People would want to work for you even if they're going to make a little less than if they work somewhere else. That's like trying to compete on price alone. Now, that is a strategy that I mean, if you're able to pay the top dollar, you should be. That should be one of your key things. If your customers can afford that in the labor rates or however you're pricing your services, you shouldn't have to worry about being the top dollar. It's just when your competitors try to outcompete in that area, they're not going to like completely blow you out of the water with higher pay. There might be like a marginal difference where they'll try to outcompete it just a little bit higher, but at some point they're going to hit their limit as well, and that's where it then falls back to competitive advantage on how everything else is structured. So keep that in mind. But anyways, making strong teams and getting your guys to be top performers And then the top performers, there are some ways that I see of maintaining that kind of high-performing atmosphere. And one of those things is sharing struggle. And I'm not talking about just work struggle. I would think that doing extracurricular activities outside of work that are not necessarily like going to the park and having a barbecue with the family and all that stuff. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like organizing adventure events, going dirt bikes, fishing trips, things that require some type of advanced like progression. Now, some people would be like, man, I go to work, I'm not trying to do any of this kumbaya bullshit. Just pay me my money and let me do my thing, right? Well, then we go back to company culture, right? So I would argue that you can categorize those things as training, team building, cohesive training, sharing the struggle. And if you have people that don't want to participate, I'm sure that would be like those. You'll probably notice they might not be in your, they might not fit your company culture, or the one that you're pushing for as being like the best in whatever industry you're trying to maintain those teams. So, and then you can, if you implement that type of program, I think that when you hire people, you can let them know that we have these training events and you have to participate in training as part of like implemented into their pay rate. So if they're not going to do these training events, they either need to have an alternate team building activity or they're going to lose like a portion of their pay rate. And they kind of agree to that in advance. And then you can have that. But once someone's doing some kind of activity, for example, conquering some type of fear, one of the ones, skydiving, I would say would be one of them, like more extreme things, definitely builds confidence, and I can justify that as company training, especially for the sales teams. Fishing charters for technical teams. It's like kind of like a technical type of thing. Scuba diving, if you're able to do that. Dirt bike, road, like camping trips or whatever, things like that. But then doing it as a team. So then you build those, you build that muscle through struggle, and then you're gonna have. I think you're gonna see a benefit out of that. So are we doing any of that stuff right now? No. Corell's like, I'm just sharing the idea with you guys. We do it in the military, do it through training activities. You share struggle, so that does build teamwork and cohesion. And so why wouldn't it work in the civilian world? So that's what we will be doing. But I did see that example when I went skydiving. There were companies that sent out their sales and management teams to also get certified, and I saw it there. And that's where I was like, man, that's actually a great idea. Why wouldn't we do that at our level? If that is our goal, is to be the best and attract the best talent, we should have the best type of training. It comes back to building a struggle. Surviving a struggle together. Anyway, that's what I got for you guys today. See you on the dark side.